I'm sure you won't have enough to eat this Christmas. Here's sixpence for you.
Oh, no. Thank you very much, but I couldn't possibly.
Of course you can. It's a whole sixpence. You can buy some food with it.
But I'm not a beggar.
It doesn't matter. You look as though you're in need. Go on, take it.
Thank you. Spend it, Emily. I only took it because he looked so disappointed when I refused. But I shall wear it round my neck to remind me there are still some kind people in the world. I was a beggar, you see. It was quite a shock, really. I mean, I'd no idea I looked so poor.
Do you think she's Duke's daughter, Papa?
I should think it's very unlikely.
Then how did she learn to speak so well?
Yeah.
Well, she probably listened to the pupils and copied them.
But she had this air about her. It didn't seem to go with her shabby clothes.
And that cloak she was wearing. It was dirty and torn.
It's horrible.
But it wasn't a cheap one.
Couldn't we invite her for Christmas, Mamma?
Oh, yes,
Well,
please.
we
That's
have
such
so
an idea.
much.
Oh, it's so
And she
good.
seems to have so little.
Oh, please,
Why don't we invite her for Christmas
It's a
dinner?
nice thought, Donald. But I'm afraid if she's in service at the seminary, we cannot interfere.
Oh, why not?
The headmistress would take it as a slight. Besides, if she almost refused your sixpence, she's hardly likely to accept any more charity.
Do you think she's too proud?
She was too proud to beg, wasn't she? Crusts.
Good Lord.
What, dear?
I must buy a house.
What's the matter with this one?
It's not for us, Donald. It's for a client.
Oh.
Please, might get down.
Please, might get down.
Yes, you may all get down.
He's returning to England after many years abroad.
What about the one across the square next to the seminary? It's been on the market for months, so I'm sure the agents would listen to any reasonable offer.
Oh, yes, what a good idea. This might be just what they're looking for. I'll call on them this morning.
Remember, when you arrive back in the bosom of your families, that Christmas is a time of peace and goodwill. It is not merely for the giving and receiving of presents, Victoria, but to celebrate the birth of our Lord. So, throughout the festive season, I would like you all to behave like good Christian children, with obedience, Claudia, towards your mammas and papas, and with charity towards those less fortunate than yourselves. To those girls whose parents are abroad and who will therefore remain at the seminary for the holidays, I will say this. Miss Amelia and I will do our best to make up for the enforced separation from your loved ones. On Christmas Day, we shall have a splendid feast, followed by some jolly party games. And I have had a message from Father Christmas to say that he will not be passing us by. So, we shall all in our various ways be sharing in Christ's bounty. Do not forget to thank him, as you thank those friends and relatives who are generous towards you. And until we meet again for the Easter term, I wish you all a Merry Christmas. Good. Now, keep your seats. Can you pull him out of each carriage left to right?
Hello, Martha.
Hello, Lottie.
Bye, Mama.
Goodbye, Lottie. Have a good time.
I shall miss you.
She'll miss you too.
I hope Father Christmas doesn't pass you by.
Thank you. But I have a feeling he will.
Why?
I'm too old for presents.
You're only 11. My sister's 15 and he still fills her stocking.
Maybe she's better behaved than I am.
She's not. She's awful. She pulls my hair.
Well, if she does it again, you just pull hers back.
Aren't you even going to hang up your stocking?
No.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll write to Father Christmas and ask him not to forget you.
Thank you, Lottie. I'm sure that'll make all the difference.
Mistletoe, holly. We shall need plenty of holly.
Oh, yes. What about the tree?
Oh, send Sarah to the market for that. It'll be half the price they charge in the shops.
And the turkey, too. She should be able to get a nice cheap one there.
No, I don't think we should economise on food. We don't want the girls writing to their parents that we were parsimonious on such an occasion, do we? Oh, bye-bye, Eleonora. Have a lovely Christmas.
Goodbye, dear.
Besides, it'll all go on the parents' account. Oh, look, stupid child left her glove.
Staff Christmas boxes.
Henrietta, run after that stupid child, will you?
Can't put them on the parents' account.
What?
And we really ought to give them more this year. They haven't had an increase for some time.
Well, what did we give them last year?
£2 to cook.
We'll make it 3. That'll stop her asking for an increase in wages.
Right. And £1 to Henrietta. Yes. And £1 to Henrietta.
Make it £1.10.
And 5 shillings to Rebecca.
Don't give her the same. She's an idle slut. He's lucky to get that.
What about Sarah?
What about her?
Well, we want to give her something.
We already give her something. A roof over her head.
I mean something for Christmas.
Amelia, I can't believe my ears. She already owes us in excess of £260. Are you seriously suggesting not 1 penny? She's not getting 1 penny more.
Miss! There's an heathen, miss, moving in next door. A what? An heathen. It's got to be an heathen. It's got a craven image. Becky, what are you talking about? I've just seen the removal blokes lifting it out of the van. It's an idol. An heathen idol. And I reckon he worships it. Probably some kind of ornament. No, it's not. It's got 4 arms and nasty pointed teeth. It's got a necklace made out of skulls and a belt made out of snakes. Kali. Oh? The wife of Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction. That thing's never a god's wife. It's a craven image, that's what it is. And I don't fancy living next to an heathen what bows down to craven images. Papa had a statue of Kali in his study, but he never bowed down to it. What do you want it for then? He just liked looking at it as a work of art. Work of art? He's ugly. To a Hindu? What's that? A kind of Indian. There's a gentleman that's moving in next door. He could be an Indian. Perhaps. You say the removal van's outside? Yeah. And the bloke's left that idol standing on the pavement. Shocking, I call it. Let's see if it's still there. Yes, that's Kali, all right. It's just like the one in Papa's study. So he is an Indian gentleman, then. Well, he certainly brought some of his things there. But I don't think he's an Indian. Why not? You see that other statue? That's Buddha, another god. But you can't be a Buddhist and a Hindu.
Oh, be careful with the table, be careful.
Well, he's an Indian. I've seen them funny acts before. Must make you feel homesick, miss.
Yes, that's right, that's correct.
Suppose he's arranging everything for the new owner. I hope he has children. They They might use their attic as a playroom, and I can see them from my window. This could be him now. Looks like he's ill. Very ill. He has to have a nurse to travel with him. No children. Not even a wife. Doesn't matter. If he likes Indian things, I'll think of him as a friend. You want to be careful, miss. I'll still say he's an even. God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. For Jesus Christ our Saviour was born on Christmas Day to save us souls from Satan's power.
Doll's house! Oh, thank you, Mama!
Is that what you want?
Yes, it is lovely!
Darling, oh,
Sweetie, there.
thank you.
Judy! Oh, thank you, Mama! I should be able to make up my own pantomime.
And we won't have to waste money taking you to a real theatre.
You mean we can't go and see Mother Goose? But you promised.
I'm sure Donald's pantomime will be much more enjoyable. You can't expect us to go out to the theatre now that we have one at home.
Thank you.
Papa,
All right, then. Perhaps I won't take these back after all.
take us to see Mama.
So you're only joking?
I wasn't.
And it's tidings of comfort and joy, and it's tidings of comfort and joy.
Let us pray. Almighty God, on this the anniversary of the birth of thine only begotten Son, we beseech thee to bless all those who are separated from their loved ones. Comfort and sustain them on this joyous day. Bless, too, those whose lot it is to serve their fellow creatures. Make them diligent in their duties and humbly grateful both to thee and to their earthly benefactors, so that at the last they too may be admitted to thine everlasting kingdom. Amen. Young ladies, you may open your gifts. Those members of staff who wish to do so may stay and watch. Well, what a wonderful array of gifts. Oh, that is very nice, thank you. Yes, oh, and what have you there? Usual lumps. Oh, and look at that.
Ermengarde. It's a book. You've probably read it. So I know you like reading books over and over again. And I know you haven't any of your own now. Thank you. I just wish...
Sarah, if that is a gift, then you will open it downstairs. It would not be seemly to do so here.
Yes, Mum.
Isn't that very nice? Yes,
How lovely. What, miss? Alice Through the Looking Glass. I've read Alice in Wonderland, but I've never read this.
Books. What does a skivvy want with books? They don't teach you to scrub floors, do they?
And they don't tell you how to keep hold of your money, nor how to recognise a mine that ain't got no diamonds in it. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, cook. Thank you, Mum. Merry Christmas, Henrietta.
Thank you, Mum.
Merry Christmas, Rebecca.
Thank you kindly, Mum.
Christmas, Mum. Oh, £3. Should have been a fiver. Still, it's a quid more than last year.
I've got 10 bob more. I've got the same. Here, miss, I'll share it with you. Half a crown each, eh? No, Becky. It's sweet of you, but it's your Christmas box. You must keep it. But you didn't get nothing. I didn't expect anything. I almost mentioned so much money, I couldn't expect her to give me any more. But it's not fair. Everyone should get a present at Christmas. I've got one, and it's just what I wanted.
Carrots.
Sorry again to call you out on Christmas Day, Doctor. I hope we haven't wasted your time.
Not at all, my dear man. Your master has jaundice.
Jaundice?
A general disorder of the system in which bile accumulates in the bloodstream. This can be caused by some mechanical impediment, such as a blocked bile duct. But in a great many cases, it can be caused by a sudden mental shock or prolonged anxiety. Has your master had such a shock recently?
Yes, he has.
And he drinks spirits, I see.
Yes, Doctor, he drinks.
He must stop immediately. The bile duct could well be blocked by an inflammation of the liver, a condition aggravated by spirit drinking. I shall have to make some tests, but if he follows my advice, the prognosis should be favourable. May I ask if he has recovered from the shock?
No.
And I don't suppose I ever shall.
Nonsense. It's just a question of willpower, whether you wish to recover. It seems to me, my dear sir, you're putting up very little resistance to your illness. I cannot emphasize enough that in a case like yours, the mental and the physical go hand in hand. So if you continue on your present course...
I'll just fade away.
Exactly.
Well, perhaps that would be best.
Then why did you seek medical advice?
To please my servant.
You would please him a great deal more if you ceased to brood on your troubles, and you must follow a strict diet. No more spirit drinking.
No, Doctor.
I shall call again tomorrow morning. Good day, sir. And a Merry Christmas to you.
Of course. Yes, Liza, tell me about your present. Lavinia,
It was a wonderful present. Did you like it, really? I love it, and I haven't read it. I can't wait to start.
Sarah, stop talking, please. Servants should be seen and not heard.
Yes, Mum.
Oh, for heaven's sake! Look what she's done, Miss Nigel. You clumsy girl. You're not even fit to wait on table. Go to your room this instant. If you found it...
But it wasn't me, Mum. It was her. She did it on purpose.
Nonsense! How dare you accuse one of my young ladies of uncouth behaviour? You will go to your room immediately. You will beg Lavinia's pardon. Well?
No, I won't beg her pardon because it was her fault.
Then you will go to your room for the rest of the day. And you will go without luncheon and dinner.
But that's not fair.
I'm not interested in what you think is fair. You will do as I say. Don't laugh at me, you insolent child. Maria.
I wasn't laughing. I was thinking.
What?
It would be strange if I turned out to be a princess after all. Wouldn't it?
Well, get on with your lunch. This is supposed to be a festive occasion.
Evil one, you can't visit the little girl. Come back at once.
Usko mein Paka sakta hun?
You speak Hindustani?
Yes.
Miracle.
Will your monkey let me catch him or will he bite?
No, he won't bite. He is, however, frightened of strangers.
You better come and fetch him then. Can you get across?
I will come at once.
Now come along, evil one. Come to Ramdas. There's no use. There is no escape. I shall inform the Sahib of your conduct. And there will be no bananas for you today.
Tell me about the Sahib. He comes from India too.
No, he was there only a few weeks. Then he became ill and had to return to England.
What's the matter with him?
He has a disease called jaundice. If he had stayed in India, he would surely have died.
Poor man. I will pray for him.
Thank you, Mrs. Sahib.
Thank you also for your indulgence. Please, forgive the evil one for his wickedness.
See me now.
Mr. Carmichael, Sahib.
Mr. Garrison.
I'm sorry about the gloom, Carmichael, but the light hurts my eyes. Please do sit down.
Thank you.
Have a good Christmas?
Wonderful. And you?
Oh, Christmas isn't for crusty bachelors like me. It's for children. You have 5, don't you?
Yes. 4 girls and a boy. Thank you. Perhaps you'd like to meet them.
Oh, when I'm on my feet again.
Sahib?
I'm sure they've much better things to do than visit a boring invalid like me.
What did the doctor say?
That if I follow his advice, I shall make a complete recovery, though frankly I'm not sure it's worth it. Not unless you can find Crewe's daughter for me. Have you any news?
Yes, Mr. Carrisford, I have. I heard from my French inquiry agent an hour ago. I came straight over to tell you.
You found her? Then for the love of God, man, tell me where she is.
Well, I believe that she's in Russia.
Are you hungry? When did you last have something to eat?
Can't remember.
Today? You had something today?
No, never had nothing today. Been round all the bakers. Threw me out.
Wait here a minute.
Yes, dear.
I was just wondering, have you by any chance lost a 4-penny piece?
Where'd you find it?
Just outside in the gutter.
It's yours, then. Finders keepers.
Thank you.
Did you want to buy something?
Yes, I'll have 4-penny buns, please.
4 buns. Right you are, dear.
I said 4. You put in 6.
Did I? Good heavens, so I did. Oh, I never was much good at arithmetic.
I can only afford 4. That's all I've got, you see.
Oh, I can't be bothered to put the other 2 back. It's a waste of energy. You can have 6 for 4p. That is, if you can find a use for them.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Would you like a bun? Nice and hot.
What do I have to do?
Nothing. Just eat it. Here's 4 more.
It's ridiculous, John. A wild goose chase. Sending you all the way to Moscow on such tenuous evidence. Mr. Carrisforth's clutching at straws.
Of course he is, my dear. But can you blame him? He's a desperate man.
I still don't understand why he hasn't been able to find this little girl. There must have been letters from the school.
No. The colonel who organised the sale of Captain Crewe's effects had all his papers destroyed. And the Indian woman who looked after Sarah simply vanished without trace.
What made you think he sent her to school in Paris?
Because her mother was a French woman. Mr. Carrisforth said that the last time he saw her father, he told him that he was taking his daughter on a tour of Europe before dropping her off at boarding school. Europe, not England. That's why I employed a French inquiry agent.
Your carriage is waiting, sir.
Thank you.
Will Moscow be covered with snow, Papa? Will you drive in a droshky?
Probably.
Shall you meet the Tsar? Shall you ask him to help you look for the little girl?
Well, I rather think the Tsar will have more important things to do.
Will you send us pretty picture postcards of the Cathedral Square?
And Ivan the Terrible Throne?
And the Great Kremlin Palace?
I will send you cards the very second I arrive. Now, run back in, because you'll all catch cold. Don't forget, I love you.
Bye.
Sahib has just driven away.
May God go with him. Did his children come out to see him off?
Yes, Sahib.
He promised to ask them to visit me. I don't suppose they ever will.
Spirits of the lonely invalid appear to be very low today.
Yes. And talking of spirits...
No, Sahib.
What do you mean, no? You're my servant. You'll do as you're told.
No spirits by order of the physician.
I could dismiss you, you know.
What other servant would put up with your moods, your depressions?
Am I so impossible to live with?
Totally impossible, Sahib. And today, more than usual.
That's because I feel guilty. Sending Carmichael off to Moscow.
There is a verse in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, in his sermon to Arjuna, advises that when the goal is worthy, action is always better than inaction, even if the consequences of such action are to be regretted.
You made that up?
Yes, Sahib.
You're an old fraud, Ramdas. But I don't know what I'd do without you.
Ah, there's the little servant girl. The one who lives in the attic.
What's she doing?
Returning from the shops with baskets that are too heavy for her.
They seem to work her very hard.
And she is not used to it. Of that I am sure. She has not been a servant all her life.
If only we could do something to help her.
Are you sure about this, love? I don't want to get you into trouble.
Trouble? Over a couple of meat pies? Don't be daft, Bert.
Well, suppose your mistress finds out.
She won't. She hardly ever comes down here. She did a monthly inventory a week ago. Go on. Get stuck into it.
Well, don't blame me if she hands you over to the law.
I wouldn't mind. As long as it was you.
Oh, it wouldn't be. I'd be in the next cell charged with receiving stolen goods. I might have to turn Queen's evidence.
You couldn't turn Queen's evidence if we was married.
Now, look, don't start that again. I've already told you. I can't think about marriage till I get me sergeant's stripe.
How long will that be? 10 years? 20?
Maybe next year.
Maybe never.
Look, love, we've just got to be patient, right? Till I can afford to keep you in style.
Look, we don't have to wait. I've got some money put by and I can carry on working.
I'm not having my wife going out to work. After we're wed, the only cooking you'll be doing is for me.
Late again? What's the excuse this time? Raw carriage got stuck in the mud, did it? Where's the change? This all? What'd you do? I used to have another diamond mine.
I wrote down how much everything cost. You can see for yourself.
All right. You can knock off now. Got to them books of yours?
Can I just have something to eat?
There's some bread in the larder.
Bread? But I've had nothing but bread since yesterday.
Well, I'm not cooking out a meal specially for you. If you're too high and mighty to eat with the rest of us, you can go without.
Yes, Donald?
Did you see the little girl who was not a beggar? She was standing on the pavement when Papa left, watching us, as if...
As if what?
As if there were a pane of glass between us. And she was on the outside, looking in.
She probably has no family of her own, poor child.
Like the little girl Papa has gone to look for.
Yes.
Why should she be in Russia?
Because that's where her foster parents live.
But she's an English girl.
Her foster parents are Russian. And Papa believes they took her back to Moscow.
From France?
Yes, she was at school in Paris.
Why couldn't she keep in school in England?
I don't know. Ask Mr. Carrisford.
Faint, that's all. You better sit down. You do look tired these days. So pale and thin.
Oh, I know. It's all this rich prison food, all the cakes and trifles and jellies.
What?
Nothing. Have a look at these books. Carlyle's French Revolution. I've been wanting to read that. Where did you get them?
Papa sent them to me. And the trouble is, he'd have expected me to have read them by the summer. So I was wondering if you could read them and then tell me what they're about.
Don't you think you ought to read them yourself?
I could never get through all that. And you make history sound so exciting. I'd much rather hear about it from you.
All right.
Thank you.
Missing? Meat pies don't just vanish into thin air. How can they be missing?
Dunno, Mum.
Well, when did you last see them?
Last night. There was definitely in the larder last night.
Then someone must have taken them.
Yes, Mum.
I've a good mind to turn you over to the police.
Wasn't me, I'm honest. I never touched them meat pies.
Don't tell falsehoods. Cook says she's missed other things from the larder recently. You ought to go to prison.
I never took nothing, not even when she sent me to bed without no supper. Please, Mum, you can't believe
It's
me.
no use, Rebecca. Your infamy has been discovered. Now go to your room for the rest of the day.
Cruel
Tomorrow
woman.
I will decide what
It was Cook who stole those meat pies, but that policeman of hers. I saw him eating them.
Can't you say anything?
Gorgon would never believe me. It's so unfair. Becky's so hungry sometimes she eats crust out of the ash barrel. She'd never dream of stealing anything.
blimey God.
What?
Oh, I'm never not hungry. I'm so hungry now. Oh, I could eat you. Becky gets less food than I do.
Oh, stupid of me. We should have known.
I didn't want you to know. If you thought of me as a beggar girl, we couldn't stay friends.
Nobody could think of you as a beggar girl.
You're wrong. A little boy gave me this sixpence because he thought I was in need of charity.
I know. One of my aunts sent me a hamper of food yesterday. I'll bring it up tonight while everyone's asleep, and we'll have a banquet.
Can we invite the prisoner in the next cell?
Of course.
Hello, young master.
I'm Donald Carmichael.
Ah, the son of Carmichael, Sahib.
Yes, I'd like to see Mr. Carrisford.
Oh, I am sorry. He is very ill.
I've come to cheer him up.
The little girl's father had a friend, you see. A friend who did him a great wrong. And I want to make it up to her.
What sort of wrong, sir?
Well, this friend persuaded her father to give him all of his money to put into a diamond mine. And then the father died, believing that he'd lost it all, and that the friend was really a thief.
But he wasn't really a thief.
No, the mine really did have diamonds in it, but he found out only after the father had died. So he never had the chance to prove that he really was a true friend.
Poor man.
Yes, poor rich man.
What I don't understand is why an English girl should go to school in France.
Because her mother was French.
But Papa said she was dead, so her father might have sent her to England, mightn't he?
Europe. He said Europe.
England's in Europe. You know there's a school next to your house? She might even be there. There's a girl who works at that school.
Little servant girl? Yes. Ram Dass has talked to her.
Couldn't she be the one you're looking for?
No, I'm afraid not. No headmistress would ever allow a captain's daughter to become a servant.
I don't believe Rebecca stole those meat pies.
And who on earth do you think it was?
Well, I have no proof, and I hate casting aspersions.
Oh, come
without
along,
proof.
Amelia. This is not a court of law. Who is it you suspect?
Cook.
Cook?
I've noticed that whenever her policeman calls, something disappears from the larder, and he was here earlier today.
Why on earth didn't you say something before?
Well, I didn't think it was all that important.
Not important? Well, I suppose if you found out we were feeding half the population of London, you wouldn't consider that important either.
Oh, well, it's only one man, and it doesn't happen all that often.
Well, as you say, we have no proof. And I don't intend to upset Cook by making unfounded allegations.
Oh, he made unfounded allegations against Rebecca.
Very well. I shall withdraw them. I just hope your faith in her is not misplaced.
It's time to set the table. Set the table, miss? With golden plates, of course. A proper banquet always has golden plates. Handle them carefully, Becky. They're extremely valuable. If you break one, the king and queen will be very cross. Right, miss. Now we need a garland of fresh flowers from the palace garden. And bring that crystal vase from the washstand. It'll do as a centerpiece. You made these? Oh, really, Becky? Can't you tell the difference between a crystal vase and a silver flagon encrusted with precious jewels? Yes, that's it. But as this is a very special banquet, you'd better bring them both. There's only one thing missing. The food. The food is not our responsibility. It's being prepared by the royal chef down in the kitchen. No, a banquet is not a banquet without damask napkins embroidered by Spanish nuns. As it happens, I have just 3 left.
Lovely. Must have taken them ages to embroider these.
5 years each. That's why they're so expensive. But in this palace, we don't worry about the expense.
Palace, miss? I thought it was a cell.
Not tonight, Becky. Just for tonight. It's a huge banqueting hall. See the high vaulted roof and the minstrel's gallery. The log fire blazing in the open grate. The flaming torches casting shadows over the long oak dining table. You can't have cheap napkins in a place like this.
No, I suppose not. But you know what I wish?
What?
I wish the royal chef would get a move on.
She'll be thrown out in the gutter, where she belongs.
You really hate her? That much?
I hate anybody who pretends to be what she isn't. She still walks around with her nose in the air, as if she's too good for the rest of us. Well, it won't be in the air much longer. Welcome, Master Chef. And what have we on the menu tonight, pray? A suckling pig, a haunch of venison, or mayhap a surfeit of lamb.
Oh, what? She's the right caution, isn't she, miss? Isn't she a caution? Oh, I just love it when she talks like that. This is a blanketeer, we see, miss, with a vaulting roof and Spanish napkins and a blazing fire.
Blazing fire? I can pretend the rest of it, but I don't think I can pretend that. It's absolutely freezing.
We could have a real one, I suppose. It'll only be a short blaze, but when it's gone out, I can pretend it's still there. There.
Oh, Sarah, you are clever. You can always make something out of nothing.
When you have nothing, it's all you can do. And now, fair damsels, let us commence.
I'm not a damsel. I'm a royal chef.
Nonsense. You're the Princess Ermengarde of Aquitaine. And this is Rebecca, Duchess of Castile. I bid you both welcome to the palace of my noble father, the King, who is abroad at present on a crusade, but has commanded me to provide you with this sumptuous feast.
God bless you, Your Highness. You're a real toff.
What ho there, minstrels! Strike up the viols and bassoons. Make the rafters ring with music, and pray you honoured guests, begin.
Missus, she found us out. Oh no, miss, I'm in the kitchen now.
What is the meaning of this?
It's my fault, Miss Minchin. My aunt sent me a hamper of food, you see. So I suggested
You suggested nothing, Ermengarde. You're far too stupid. I know whose suggestion this was.
I was only having a party.
Silence! You will leave my service at the end of the month. Now go to your room. Are these the books your father sent you, Ermengarde?
Yes, Miss Minchin. I lent them to...
I wonder what he'd say if he knew you left them in this filthy attic. Take them away. And go to bed. I shall write to your father in the morning informing him of your misconduct. As for you, Sarah, don't look at me like that.
Like what, Ma?
As if I were the one who'd committed the crime. What have you to say for yourself?
Nothing.
Nothing. Not even an apology.
I apologise for getting Becky and Ermengarde into trouble.
It's your own behaviour you should be apologising for, you insolent child, for repaying my generosity with sullenness and disobedience. Stay in your room tomorrow, and you will have no supper and no dinner. And unless you feel some remorse, I shall throw you out in the street.
It's a dream, Emily. It's funny, because I feel as if my eyes were open. I must still be asleep. I'm sitting up. I'm definitely sitting up, so why am I still dreaming? Suppose if I got out of bed it would all disappear. Come on, Emily, let's see. Rescue. Well, it's come. But who's a magician? You can't have magic without a magician. I don't know. Some anonymous friend. Anonymous? Someone who doesn't want me to know who he is. Bacon, eggs, toast and hot tea. Come on, Becky, let's see if it tastes real. If your friend can make things appear, he can make them disappear, right? And that food might as well disappear in our stomachs as out here.
And she never stirred?
No, Sahib. Oh, the poor creature was so exhausted. She would have slept through a thunderstorm.
Oh, I should like to have seen her face when she saw your handiwork.
Your handiwork, Sahib. That was merely the humble instrument of your will.
There's nothing humble about you, Ramdas. And if you were truly an instrument of my will, you bring me the whiskey decanter.
I cannot find it, Sahib.
Isn't it against the Sikh religion to tell a lie?
Govind teaches that if a lie is told with sincerity...
Oh, don't be ridiculous. How can you possibly tell a lie with sincerity?
It is what you would call a white lie, for the sake of a greater good.
My recovery, you mean? You really think that's worth lying for?
Certainly, Sahib. If you were to die, who would take care of the little servant girl?
Morning, ducks. Special delivery. Thank you. Sign in, please. Right there. Who is it for? I don't know, it's on the label. So, thanks a lot, miss. Thank you.
Don't just stand there staring at it, Sarah. To whom is it addressed?
To me, Mum.
You.
right-hand attic. That's me.
Well, better open it then, hadn't you? To be worn every day, will be replaced by others when necessary. Do you have any idea who sent this?
No, Mum.
Some relative, perhaps? A rich uncle you have forgotten about?
I don't think so. My father didn't have any brothers or sisters.
Well, if it was on your mamma's side, it may have been Frenchman. It would explain why he's taken so long to find you.
It wouldn't explain how he knew I lived in the right-hand attic.
Well, whoever it is, it appears you are no longer destitute. Take these clothes and put them on. And Sarah?
Yes, Mum?
There will be no more work today. You may join the other pupils in the schoolroom.
Yes, Mum.
If this mysterious benefactor is a relative, why wasn't the parcel addressed to her by name?
Well, presumably it is someone who wishes to provide for her without necessarily becoming involved.
Well, it looks as if he intends to continue to provide for her. In which case, you've made a terrible mistake, haven't you, sister?
Mistake?
Well, turning her into a slave. If he were to find out how you've been treating her...
Oh, how I have been treating her? May I remind you, Amelia, that you are the co-proprietress of this seminary?
I know. I should have protested. Made sure she had enough to eat, had a fire in her room. I'm deeply ashamed of myself.
I see no reason why either of us should be ashamed. Her father died owing us over £270, and yet we gave her a roof over her head. We gave her a home.
Only to get our money back, not out of charity.
We are not a charitable institution.
Good Lord.
Where did she get those clothes?
Probably stolen. What are you doing here, Skivvy? You're not allowed in the schoolroom. It's only for girls whose parents can afford the fee.
Oh, shut up, Lavinia! You look beautiful, Sarah. How did it happen?
I don't know. Ever since I woke up this morning, everything's been different. I thought it was a dream, but it isn't. It's just the magic.
Good morning, young ladies.
Good morning, Miss Minchin.
Be seated. Oh, Lottie.
Sorry, Miss Minchin.
Run along. Sarah, you may resume your old desk. And Elizabeth, move over there. Quickly. Come on.
Yes, Miss Minchin.
Right?
Yes, Mum.
Oh, and you need not call me Mum anymore. Quite sure it won't be long before you're a pupil again.
I took the liberty of peeking in case the magic had worn off during the day. But it's still here, large of life. It's not only still here, Becky. The magician's been back. Hot soup, thick steaks, apple pie. Now that's what I call magic. How did he get in? Magicians can get in anywhere. They don't have to worry about walls and doors. They just pass straight through them. You mean like a ghost? Yes. But they're more real than ghosts. Because their magic can actually touch it and feel it and taste it. I'll tell you something, miss. Magic food tastes better than ordinary food.
It's Papa! It's Papa! Mama! Mama! Papa's home! Donald!
Hello, dear. How are you all?
We missed you so much. How was Moscow?
Oh, cold. Bitterly cold.
Did you find the little girl?
Well.
Well?
I'm afraid not.
Oh.
I knew it.
Poor Mr. Carrisford. He'll be so disappointed.
Not the right child. Then who was she?
Madame Pascal was right. Her name is Sonia Carew. I met both her and the Russian couple who adopted her. There's no possible doubt.
But the fact that her father died out in India...
Just an unfortunate coincidence.
Then we shall have to begin all over again.
Not I, Mr. Garesford. I promised my wife I'd make no further trips abroad.
Well, perhaps that won't be necessary. While you were away, I had a great deal of time to think. And it occurred to me that I might have misinterpreted Crewe's words.
Misinterpreted them?
Yes. He said to me that he was taking his little soldier on a tour of Europe. And I assumed that meant that her school was in Europe. And in view of the fact that her mother was French, the most obvious place to start looking was Paris. But, as her father is English...
Oh, you mean search in London?
Yes.
How's this? Dear magician, we know you want to keep yourself a secret, but Becky and I thought you wouldn't mind if I wrote to thank you for your kindness over the last few weeks. We were so cold and hungry, and now we're warm and well fed. Blimey, miss! It's a monkey! Hello, evil one. So you've escaped again, have you? The Sikh will be very cross with him, and so will the Indian gentleman. I'm afraid I'm going to have to take him back. Oh. It doesn't belong to me, you see. It belongs to them. You're very lucky to have a family. He doesn't know how lucky he is. To yours. I can't think why.
You must have climbed up the chimney. Oh, I'm sorry you have been trouble, Mrs. Sahib.
Well, goodbye then.
Just a moment. I'm sure my master would wish to thank you also. Will you come inside? Wait here while I announce you. Come, Mrs. Sahib.
My servant tells me you brought our monkey back.
Yes, sir. I live in the attic next door, you see, and he was scratching at my skylight.
I understand he's visited you before. Please forgive him. It's just that London is such a new and exciting place.
There's nothing to forgive, sir. The Sikh calls him the evil one, but he's not evil at all. Just curious.
How did you know that Ram Dass was a Sikh?
Met lots of Sikhs out in India.
India? You used to live in India?
Yes, I was born there.
Come here, my dear. Are you the little girl... Did my son give you sixpence at Christmas?
Yes, sir.
And you live next door, the seminary?
Yes.
But you're not one of the pupils.
I used to be. Now I'm just... I don't quite know what I am. Skivvy, I suppose. That's what some of the girls call me.
A pupil who became a servant? Why?
Because my papa lost all his money just before he died. So there was no one to take care of me.
How did he lose it?
A friend lost it for him. At least, Papa thought he was a friend. He should never have trusted him.
What are you looking at?
Statue of Carly. It's just like
Like what?
Papa's.
What was his name?
Crewe. Captain Ralph Crewe.
You see, it was your papa's. I was the friend you thought had betrayed him. And I've been searching all over Europe for you. Ever since he died. And all the time, you were just next door.
Mum, and I could be wrong.
I shall have to get to the bottom of this. Can't have a member of my household making unsolicited visits to a neighbour. Deserves an apology.
The point is, young lady, that you are now extremely wealthy. Half of Mr. Carrisford's considerable fortune belongs to you.
So I am a princess, after all.
What's that?
Nothing. It's just a game I used to play. I won't have to go back to the school, will I?
No, no, of course not. I want you to come and live here with me. And we can organise a private tutor for you.
Excuse me, Syal.
Yes, Rabbi.
The headmistress is here.
Oh, good. It'll save me the trouble of calling on her.
You better show her in.
Sahib.
Good morning, Mr.
Carrisford.
Carrisford. I am Miss Minchin, the proprietress of the young ladies' seminary next door.
This is Mr. Carmichael, my solicitor.
How do you do?
He was just about to come and see you.
To protest about the intrusion of my charity pupil. I have come to apologize for her presumption. Go home, Sarah. She will be severely punished. Go home at once.
No, Miss Minchin. This is her home now.
I beg your pardon?
The fortune which the captain believed was lost has now been recovered, and half of it belongs to this charity pupil of yours.
You mean the diamond mine?
Precisely. It has proved to be an excellent investment.
Then Sarah must continue with her education.
Oh, yes, she will. But not at your seminary.
Why not? Were it not for my generosity, she would have starved in the streets.
Instead of which, she starved in your attic. Not much of an improvement, by all accounts.
Captain Crewe entrusted Sarah to my care, Mr. Carrisford. She must return to my seminary. The law requires it.
The law requires nothing of the kind, Miss Minchin. Whether she returns or not is up to her.
Then I appeal to you, Sarah. I have not spoiled you, perhaps, but I've always been extremely fond of you.
Really, Miss Minchin? I had no idea.
Children, so often they mistake discipline for lack of concern. However, one day I'm sure she will know how much I cared for her.
Cared? No, Miss Minchin, you never cared for me. And you know quite well that I won't come back with you.
Well, Mr. Carrisford, you may think that you are doing the right thing, but you have not undertaken an easy task. The child is both untruthful and ungrateful, and no school on earth could transform such a hardened character. She thinks she's a princess, you know.
No, I don't, Miss Minchin. All I ever did was try to behave like one.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised. If I was Sarah, I wouldn't dream of coming back.
Why not? She should be grateful to us.
Grateful? Grateful for what? Days of hard labor, a few crusts of bread.
Oh, nonsense. She did a few bits of housework, ran a few errands.
You're deceiving yourself.
And in return, we gave her a roof over her head, hot, wholesome
nothing
food.
At all. You never showed her a moment's kindness. And because I was afraid of you, neither did I. We both behaved disgracefully towards
Oh, we've done nothing of the sort. I admit I never liked the girl.
Because she could see through you. That's why. She knew you for what you are. A pitiless, hard-hearted woman who cares for nothing but money.
How dare you, Amelia? Without my care for money, money, as you put it, you would still be a frumpish nursemaid in some dreary establishment.
I'd rather be a frumpish nursemaid than accept your values a moment longer. I'm resigning as your partner, Maria. I only hope the pupils don't follow your example. Because if they do, you will have brought them nothing but misery.
I knew you were looking for. I don't know why, but I just knew.
No, you didn't, Donald. When you first saw her, you thought she was a baby girl.
No, I didn't. I just thought you needed some money. Didn't mind me offering you that sixpence, did you?
Mind? I shall always wear it to remember you by.
See? It wasn't a mistake.
Then why have you gone bright red?
Excuse me, miss. There's a letter for you. I think it's from Miss Sarah.
Sarah? Where is she?
Amelia says she's gone next door with the Indian gentleman. There's been a frightful row about it. I heard the mistress and Miss Amelia going at each other hammer and tongs. And Miss Amelia wasn't half giving the mistress what for.
Strange, it's usually the other way round.
Then Miss Amelia up and left, suitcases and all.
That's why Mama got away. Read it, Ermengarde. I want to know what's happened to her.
It's wonderful.
What's wonderful? What does she say?
She says her papa's mine had diamonds in it after all. Millions and millions of them. So she's rich again now. Even richer than she was before.
I don't believe it. It's just impossible.
Oh, Mama, I can't wait to see her. When's she coming back?
She's not coming back, Lottie. She's staying with Mr. Carrisford. But she's invited us both to tea tomorrow afternoon.
I am just a servant. But sometimes I have the power to astonish.
For me?
For you. From the Missy Sahib.
I'm not much good at reading. Can you tell me what she says?
She says that my master is to become her legal guardian. And she asks if you would accept a position in his household as her personal maid.
Oh, miss.
What are you thinking, Sarah?
I was just thinking about your question. Why Karma should have treated me so cruelly. I believe it was to teach me a lesson.
What lesson?
There are so many poor people in the world. I took Papa's money for granted, you see. I had no idea what it was like not to have any.
It taught me a lesson, too. That money doesn't buy happiness.
It prevents people from starving, though, doesn't it? It gives them a roof over their heads.
Yes?
I remember one day, when I was particularly hungry. There was a little girl outside a bun shop who was even hungrier than I was. I wonder what became of her, what becomes of all other children who don't have enough to eat. I wish I could help them. That's settled, then. You'll feed any hungry children and send the bills to me every month.
Bless you, miss. It'll be a pleasure. Miss? Excuse the liberty, miss. What happened to the rags?
Oh, they're gone. I'm very happy now. I just wish the little girl I gave the buns to was as happy.
Oh, she's quite happy. You can take my word for it.
You've seen her?
I see her every day. Anne?
Hello, miss.
She's my new apprentice, and a fine, hard-working girl she's turned out to be. She couldn't remember her name, so I called her Anne.
You're really happy, Anne?
Yeah, thanks to you and the mistress.
one's never been poor. Not even when she hadn't a penny to her name.
It's the magic. That's what it is. The magic. Remember I told you that when things are at their blackest, the magic always comes to your rescue. Well, it's come. Just like being a princess, after all.
Sarah! Oh, look, Jessie, it's Sarah! Hello, Mum! How are you, Sarah? We'll have tea again soon. I miss you so much.
Come along, young ladies.
Hello, Mr. Carrisford.
Do not engage in conversation with strangers, Ermengarde. Eyes front and into silence.
Goodbye, Sarah. Bye-bye, Mama.